Hey everybody, this is Trevor and you are watching my channel Social Dilemma. Thank you for coming here. Okay, so today, big news in Canada, as I'm a Canadian, so this is big news here and it could ripple effect around the world. But so as of today, Justin Trudeau has banned handguns. Okay, he already put a ban on 1,500 different styles of rifles here 2 years ago. So I am going to read to you. This news bulletin today came via email to me from the gun club that I belong to here in Canada. And I'm just going to read you verbatim as to what they've sent me here. And, just to give you some facts, well, as to what's going on here. So, for immediate release, as of May 31st, 2022, Liberals prohibit handgun sales and imports to licensed gun owners. Before businesses opened this morning, the RCMP, Canadian Federal Arms Centre, shut down firearms retailers' ability to verify possession and acquisition licenses and perform restricted firearms transfers. This shutdown of verification and transfer services signaled new restrictions on PAL holders were imminent. Just a little breakdown before I go on. PAL in Canada is the possession and acquisition license. And there's also an RPAL, that's a restricted possession and acquisition license. With your PAL, you can buy such things as a shotgun or a hunting rifle in Canada. With your RPAL, you are able to, you're privileged, because it's not a right to own or buy a handgun in Canada, but you're privileged to buy such things as a handgun, and before, like an AR style rifle, a semi-auto rifle. So I myself am an RPAL licensed gun owner in Canada, and I'll talk about that more as I get through this news article. But I just want to keep reading. I thought I'd stop and kind of clarify that for anyone who's not in Canada, or if you're in Canada, that hopefully that helps you. Okay, so keep reading here. Then the Minister of Public Safety introduced Bill C-21, an act to amend certain acts and to make certain consequential amendments firearms to Parliament. This means Marco Mendicino said individuals will be prohibited from buying, selling, transporting, or importing handguns. Once royal asset is obtained for Bill C-21, the sale, transfer, and import of handguns will be permanently frozen. Until that time, regulatory changes announced today to be implemented by regulation that will temporarily freeze handgun sales until royal assent. It appears the temporary freeze by order in council will take effect in mid-October. Permanent magazine restrictions will also be part of this order in council, according to the minister's briefing documents. Once passed, Bill C-21 will effectively confiscate all legally acquired handguns through grandfathering. This slow-motion confiscation requires the destruction of all handguns when an RPAL holder passes away. It appears no compensation will be paid to these owners of their estates. So that's great. That's your property being destroyed, and those in your will aren't getting anything from it. So that's what that means. So impose a permanent cessation of handgun sales, trades, and imports. Prohibit low-powered pellet and BB gun replica firearms that look like real firearms. Chief Firearm Officers, the CFOs, will be prevented from approving the transfer of handguns to individuals with limited exceptions for high-level competitive shooters, effectively ending Canada's Olympic shooting team. Increase the maximum penalty for gun smuggling in Canada from 10 years to 14 years. Additional regulation will be tabled at an unknown time, forcing all long gun magazines to be permanently altered so they can never hold more than 5 rounds. Creates a new criminal offense for altering the magazine to restore it to its original capacity. Create new red flag law allowing anyone to apply to a judge for an order to immediately remove firearms from an individual. Create a new yellow flag law allowing the chief firearms officer, the CFO, to temporarily suspend an individual's PAL, prohibiting them from using. PAL owners must surrender all firearms during a legal challenge of a license revocation, while simultaneously claiming to respect licensed firearms owners. The Trudeau Liberal government's latest attack is not focused on violent criminals, drug dealers, and gun smugglers. It's focused squarely on the shoulders of Canada's 2.2 million licensed firearms owners. There was no mention of compensation for firearm businesses with existing inventory that were prohibited from selling, nor for orders placed with manufacturers and paid for in good faith prior to today's announcement. Nor was there a mention for compensation for lawful firearms owners that have their legal property stolen by the government. I'm just going to interrupt here. Property, private property, your property. Now people think, oh, property is a house and a car and whatnot. The ultimate form of private property is oneself. And how does oneself, our oneself is we're just becoming more slave-like here in Canada. So your property. So to keep that in mind, when people say property, the most ultimate form of property is your own body, your mind, your soul, whatever you want to say. It's oneself. So I just want to interject that as to what property is. Ultimate form is you. Okay. One mainstream media outlet asked, what difference will this national freeze on handgun sales and transfers actually make to people who are not playing by the rules? In typical Liberal fashion, Justin Trudeau refused to explain how or why his application of more restrictions on licensed firearm owners will prevent criminals from playing their illegal trade in guns. Okay, folks, so that's what I got today. That's the email from the gun club that I belong to. And yes, I am a legal RPAL gun owner here in Canada. And again, an RPAL means that I have the ability to own. Well, before Trudeau came into power, I had the ability to go out. I could buy an AR, an AK, a semi-auto rifle. Now, what's funny about this part I read in here about the 5-round magazine. As far as I can remember back, it's been 5 rounds for years now in a Canadian magazine. If you have a semi-auto rifle, you couldn't have more than 5 rounds. Okay? And I can order, as for handguns, up until May 31st, today, you could own any handgun you wanted, pretty much in Canada. So there I am. There I am with 2.2 million Canadians, once again being driven even closer to a lifestyle of how they live in Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea. So if you are against guns, that's the light. Go move to North Korea then. Tell me how you like it there, because the citizens there don't have any guns. They can't hunt. They can't just go to sporting events. They can't own firearms for anything. So it blows my mind away. And again, Justin Trudeau, I'm sure, has quite a large team of people that carry handguns and other guns for protecting him. So politicians continue to get their protection. what citizens just keep getting their right. And here's another, this is the thing too in Canada. It's not a right to own a firearm. Okay, it's according to the government here, it's a privilege. So it's one adult telling another adult how you can live, so you can have a privilege to own a firearm. So here I am. I'm a good guy. I'm a legal firearms owner here in Canada, and I don't know what to say about this. This is just these ordering councils that the OICs that Justin Trudeau keeps having effectively makes him, and as I see it, like a dictator, like a tyrant. He's ruling Canada like a king, King Trudeau. No more prime minister. He might as well just call himself a king. Um, the dear leader here in Canada. I don't know what else to say, but here we are, people. Trudeau has effectively, 2 years ago, he did an order in council. That's a backroom deal. That's no vote in Parliament. That's no open vote for the Canadian people. It's nothing. It's just him, a handful of people in a back room. They take their pens out and sign a paper and say, that's it, no more AR style looking semi-auto rifles can be bought and sold in Canada. And now today, 2 years later, no handguns. So, and then there's a thing in there about BB and pellet guns. It's absolutely ridiculous. So there's where we're at in Canada. Trudeau has, shocked the world. I guess it's a shock to a Canadian. Justin Trudeau shocks Canada by banning handguns. I don't know what to say. Like, how does hamstringing people who, like myself, who are legal, who just want to go to the gun range and go hunting, and how does that help us? Criminals want guns. They will have a gun. If you want a gun to do something illegal, to hurt somebody, you're going to go do it. Okay? Us legal gun owners, we just want to go to the gun club. I just want to go hunting. That's all. I'm fully registered. And here in Canada, the RCMP track us 24/7. If so I'm a law-abiding person. I know the difference between right and wrong, and I don't want to commit any kind of right and wrongs against people. I want to commit rights with people. I don't want to commit wrongs. That's for sure. You don't want to. I don't know. I'm absolutely at a loss for words. So here we are, May 2022, and Justin Trudeau has made handguns essentially illegal in Canada. So there you go, folks. I don't know. Try to stay free and peace out.